Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome to yet another session or episode on the Sparkle Up Your Life podcast, where today we are talking about how you don't need more certainty in life, but you actually need more curiosity. And this is a step that I truly believe it's super important when you're trying to sparkle up your life, when you're trying to truly love the life that you are already living, and where you're trying to or where you are working towards living that life that feels more aligned, that feels more fulfilled, that feels more joyful, that feels more yours, more intentionally yours. So, the question that I'm having today for you right now in the beginning is, have you ever noticed how we spend so much time of our life trying to make the right decision? We are trying to figure out the right career, the right relationship that we are having, the right apartment that we'll be living in, the right city, the right timing. We are almost treating life like if it would be a multiple choice exam. But what if that's exactly what's keeping us stuck? Today, I want to introduce to you exactly that simple idea to you that has changed how I approach almost everything because it's basically about replacing the certainty with curiosity. The thing is that our brain loves predictability. We are praised for making the right choices, the responsible choices, think along, be prepared. And somewhere along the way, we stopped actually asking on what excites me. And we simply started searching for that safe option, for where we will not make any mistake, where we won't waste time. Most importantly, we figured out that we should not disappoint others, and we started to use that idea of perfect answers, of perfect life. And we started convincing ourselves that perfectionism is actually planning, preparation. And we started really applying the overthinking as self protection. You see, all of that overthinking, all of that perfectionism, all of that thinking and learning and trying not to make mistakes, not to waste time, not to disappoint others, all of that is in the desire to have that clarity. The thing is, we are not really searching for the clarity if we are completely honest with ourselves. Instead, we are more waiting for a guarantee. The life, it rarely gives one, right? So the question is, how can we live our life in that sparkled up way? How can we make sure that we move forward rather than keep being stuck by hiding away, by waiting, by using that perfectionism and overthinking as a self-protection of simply not failing and not losing time or energy? You see, when you truly lean into this idea of curiosity allows you to ask different questions. Instead of asking, is this the absolute right decision? You rather refocus yourself and you ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of asking, what if I make a mistake? What if I fail? What if this doesn't work out? You flip the question and you ask yourself, what if I surprise myself? Instead of creating statement, this doesn't work, you ask questions. What if this doesn't work? And what if it does? You see, you are wearing slightly different glasses when you are curious about life. You allow yourself to remove that pressure of being perfect, of always having the answers. And you allow yourself to actually feel playful. It being curious allows you to experiment easier. Last In the last episode, we were talking about how important it is to experiment, to notice, to connect. And the core of all those three steps is curiosity, because that curiosity allows you to notice. That curiosity allows you to experiment. That curiosity allows you to connect with other people and exchange. Curiosity is your driver. Because if you're searching for certainty, You will 100% not be paying attention to everything what's happening around you. If you're searching for certainty, you will feel stuck because you'll not experiment. You'll not do that thing that maybe would work out because you're afraid of it not working out. And you will most definitely not connect with other people except for complaining. And this does not bring you really closer to where you want to be in the life that you want to live. So today we talked about how to notice these questions, right? So I am asking you to notice, are you asking questions or are you making the statements? How much you are living the curiosity? And then I want you to do a tiny curiosity experiment where I want you to think about 50 questions. And yes, 50 is a big number. Let's say 30. 30 questions that you can ask right now about the world around you. It can be as abstract as why do the planes fly? Or it can be as simple as am I hungry right now? Spoiler alert, I am a little bit hungry. That's why this is on my mind. But you see, just write down 30 questions because the idea is not to find the perfect questions or to find the perfect answers. It's just to exercise that muscle of curiosity. Because once you start being curious about one thing, you start asking questions about everything else. Just think about kids. When they're around 3 years old, they get into their why mode. Why this works like this? What do you mean by that? What does that mean? How does that work? This is exactly the mindset that we want to have. We want to become excited about your life. I want to become excited about my life. My clients want to become excited about their life. And I'm sure that you want to become excited about your life if you're right now listening to this episode of Sparking Up Your Life. So, this is your challenge. This is your tiny experiment to sparkle up your life today. This is how you change who you are becoming by asking questions, by being curious, and by doing those tiny little practices. And you'll notice how interesting life becomes when you start asking the questions. So, to bring it to the next level, we talked about experiments, we talked about observations and notices. And the third thing, if you remember from the last episode, is connecting. So, the third thing, once you ask all of those questions to yourself, I wanted to pick just one question out of all of those that you actually can send as a WhatsApp message, that you can send as a comment on my TikTok, or even here as a reply to this Substack podcast, and ask someone else that question. And if you're having a friend just next to you, or a partner next to you, a kid next to you, ask them the question and start asking those questions more often. Discuss it with people and see how different perspectives will come in. Because the thing is that life isn't asking you to have all of the answers always, but it is important that you stay curious long enough that you discover more and more answers that the life has for you. Maybe your next chapter isn't hidden behind that perfect decision that you're searching for. Maybe it's simply hidden behind one small, tiny experiment where you show the curiosity and you ask the questions. So, notice what changes when you become curious about your life, when you become curious about people that you're spending time with, when you become curious about world in general. Thank you for spending those moments with me today. And if today's episode helped you feel even a little bit more connected to yourself, I'd love for you to share it with another woman who might need this reminder too. And until next time, keep noticing, keep experimenting, keep connecting, and keep sparkling up your life. I'm very much looking forward to talking with you next time.